Good morning, Greg. Can you shortly introduce yourself?
I'm Gregg Vanderheiden. I'm a professor of industrial and biomedical engineering, and I direct the Trace R&D Center at the University of Wisconsin. But more recently, I'm also the co-director of Raising the Floor in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Well, two things. One is I'm on the scientific advisory board for AEGIS, so we have a meeting tomorrow on that. But more than that, it's to come and participate in this particular conference. It's a very interesting and different approach. Often we have people working on this or that idea or this or that piece of the puzzle. But this project and this conference are taking a comprehensive sort of view.
Mm-hmm.
How do we build the infrastructure of standards, techniques, implementations, and tools that it takes to actually build an ecosystem for assistive technology.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the part that drew me to this conference.
And what kind of sessions drew the biggest attention for you, or to you?
I was thinking about that, and I can't think of a session. Because it's like, which part of the car do you think is the most important?
Okay.
What is interesting is how the different parts, again, come together. And the features or interesting parts of the conference, to me, are not sessions based, but the other direction, cross-cutting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the parts that get at the understanding and seeing some progress toward implementations of what I would say is a systematic approach to accessibility.
Okay.
That's going to be the key.
Mm-hmm. Any practical solutions that you saw here which were more visible to you than others, or everybody has got his favorites?
Again, my mind is abuzz. I think the parts that are more interesting to me are different than for many people. Many people may focus in on what are another type of assistive technology solution. The parts that were more interesting to me were the presentations and the work, as I said before, toward building this. And I'm trying to think of a good term for it, but infrastructure is the best that I can think of. The network of standards and techniques that can be used. If you look at each of the different solutions, the part that's interesting is they both solve a problem, but they also contribute to this network that's being put together with this project.
Okay. Then the final question, what is the future for assistive technology, according to you?
Just like the noise.
Yeah. They're gone.
Yeah. The future for assistive technology, to me, is going to be a collaborative work building on other projects. We started out in the building with a lot of weekend warriors and people who, like I did 40 years ago when I began, started out by myself trying to solve a problem for somebody and then for a bunch of somebodies, etc. But you can only get so far. And then I started running into other people, and we'd all followed the same path and spent all the same time doing largely the same 80%, and then 20% was different. Mm-hmm. We don't have the resources, and our governments don't have the resources to do this kind of an approach. So we need to take assistive technology to be something that builds on. So new projects, new people coming in need to add function rather than go back and reinvent the whole thing.
Fresh blood.
Building on the work of others. It would be like if all scientists never read any journals, and all they did was just try to invent from scratch.
Okay.
That's kind of, you know, where would science be if everybody who started out started over? But for some reason, engineers don't build on other people's engineering so much as they decide to reinvent things themselves. And this is silly, and we need to figure out how to tap the creative energy by having people contribute something new, not another version of the same thing that's a little different. So I think that's going to be the key. And again, this builds on it. Open source is one way of doing it. It doesn't have to be entirely open source. If we can get the sort of the fundamental building base, and even if it's proprietary, but people can just, you know, license it and then build and create something new. I don't think we have to do everything open source. I think it's extraordinarily powerful, but if we can't get it done that way, then having somebody do it and then sell it to everybody else. But if we can build on each other's work, then that's the key. I happen to be a large fan of very liberal open source, which means you can make it into proprietary products. I think that's very powerful.
Okay, thanks. Enjoy the rest of the day.